In this tutorial, we will guide you through setting up streaming connectors. The setup process for streaming connectors includes agents and streaming pipelines. We will be setting up a streaming connector for Microsoft SQL Server, and our data warehouse is going to be Snowflake. Streaming pipelines are an end-to-end solution for ingesting data in near real time. They can capture data from a source database and write it to a data warehouse or cloud storage. In order to use a streaming connector, we must use a streaming pipeline. It's worth noting that we recommend configuring a custom user and role if you're using Snowflake as your destination warehouse for streaming. In order to configure streaming, you do also need to have a streaming agent already set up. For detailed information on this, you can follow the link below this video. However, I will guide you through what this looks like right now. In my project, I have selected the Streaming tab, and I will set up an agent by clicking on the agent hyperlink in the description. This will bring me to the Agents panel, which you can also get to by clicking the hamburger menu in the top left and selecting Manage and then Agents. I will select the Add Agent button and select an agent for streaming. After which, I need to give the agent a name, a description if I want, and the cloud provider that the agent will be deployed to. Then, finally, the supported deployment method for the given cloud provider. In this case, we will be using AWS as our cloud provider and Fargate as the deployment. Then we click Create Agent at the bottom right. The agent's parameters will then appear on the Agent Details screen. You should make a note of the credentials that appear here. Next, deploy the agent application into your cloud infrastructure. This process varies depending on the provider. Detailed documentation with further instructions can be found in the links below this video. So now the agent is set up and all the prerequisites are met, so we can create our streaming pipeline. In the Streaming tab of my project, I need to select Add Streaming Pipeline. In the Creating a Streaming Pipeline window, I need to give the pipeline a name. I need to select the agent that I created for streaming. I then need to select the source of the data I want to stream, which in my case is the Microsoft SQL Server. Then we need to set up the destination, which for this example I will select Snowflake. In the case of Snowflake, I now need to set up a destination connection. First of all, I need to input the Snowflake account URL. If you need help finding this, you can click on the Help icon. We then need to enter a username and the secret name of our stored secret. In this case, the secret is stored in AWS Secrets Manager. On the following screen, we have to configure our destination configuration. First, we select a role. This role will need the necessary privileges to manage the replicated tables and write the change data to the Snowflake warehouse. Next, we select the warehouse database, schema, and stage for our destination. We then use the unique staging prefix property to specify the name of the root folder in the staging area. Following on from this, we specify the table schema that will contain the replicated tables. The table name prefix property determines how the replica table names will be prefixed. You can see we have multiple options, but in this use case, I'm going to choose to reuse the staging prefix. Then I will click Continue. On the next screen, we need to specify the details of our source setup, which in this case is a Microsoft SQL database. I'll need to specify my server address and port, my database name, the username to use when connecting to the database, the secret manager to use, and the secret name for that username. I will also want to specify if the database is a read replica. If you don't know what that means, there is a link next to the checkbox to learn more. Finally, if there are any JDBC parameters or specific connection settings, you can specify them here. So once this is all filled in, the next window to fill in is the pipeline configuration. In the first Select Tables property, we select the tables we want to replicate. Next, we need to select the replication type, which determines how the change data is replicated into the Snowflake tables. In my case, I will select Copy Table. To learn more about the differences between replication types, you can go to the fourth link below this video. In the Dates and Time Strategy property, we specify the date, time, and timestamp processing strategy of our streaming pipeline. You can learn more about this in the fifth link below this video. So after all this is filled in, we can click Continue, which brings us to the review window where we can review our settings before saving our pipeline. After which, it will deploy our pipeline, but the pipeline will not start on its own. You do this by clicking the three dots on the right of the pipeline and selecting Start. We can then select the pipeline and review its progress in the Streaming Pipelines window. On the Pipeline Details screen, you'll now see a new Snapshots tab. From here, you can request snapshots whenever you need them. There's also a handy option to pause snapshotting for a set time, giving your pipeline a chance to catch up on any recent database changes before the next snapshot kicks in. So that covers how to create a streaming pipeline for a Microsoft SQL Server in the Data Productivity Cloud. If you found this tutorial helpful, please subscribe to our channel for more videos on the Data Productivity Cloud. To learn more about getting started with Matillion, visit matillion.com.